What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm talking about the best places to raise a family in the Rochester area. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Anthony. I'm with the American Home Team here in the Rochester and Finger Lakes region. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you're notified every Tuesday and Thursday that I release a new video. And with that being said, as much as I love making these videos for you on all things Finger Lakes and Rochester living, I would love even more to help you with those real estate needs. So that information that's popping up on the bottom of your screen, I am the guy that answers those texts, emails, and phone calls. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, I would be honored to be the team of choice to help you relocate or just move within the Rochester and Finger Lakes region. So definitely don't hesitate to reach out. Without further ado, today we're talking about the best areas around Rochester to raise a family. All right, and moving right into it, according to niche.com, number one on our list here of best places to live in, or places to raise a family in the Rochester area is going to be Brighton. Brighton is just outside of the Rochester city, and Brighton has a niche.com grade of an A+. Brighton is amazing. I've talked about it in many other videos before, that Brighton has the top public school system in the area, and it's bar none. Brighton is just amazing. They do have a little bit higher of taxes, but their cost of living is still very low, very on par with Rochester and the rest of the Finger Lakes region. It gets an A+ for good for families, A- for jobs. So if you have a teenager who's looking to get a job, whether it's something minimum wage or something higher paying, they probably have it in Brighton. Brighton is it's a densely populated suburb, just about 37,000 people, and it offers a lot of different bars, restaurants, parks, coffee shops, etc., like different types of shopping. There's a new Whole Foods that just opened up in Brighton, so there's a lot going on in Brighton. And that being said, it's a short drive into the city of Rochester, and it's a short drive out of Rochester into the Finger Lakes region. So Brighton, from where I live in Canandaigua, is just about 20 to 25 minutes. So very close, and it's all just expressway to the thruway. So it's I-90, or it's 490 to I-90, and you might have to get on 590 depending on where you are in Brighton, but 590, 490, I-90. So it's very close. Proximity is just amazing, and Brighton is by far the highest rated town for raising a family. And you know, there's a lot of different reasons. It's not just the schools, but it's also outdoor activities. It's the trails and pathways, and it's the diversity factor. Brighton is one of the most diverse areas in the Rochester region, and let's see, so it's number 6 on the list, according to niche.com, for young professionals. It's number 13 on the list of best suburbs in New York as a whole, and number 14 on the list of best places to live in New York. So highly, highly ranked in basically virtually every category that you could imagine. The only thing it's not really ranked well on is crime and safety. And so if you were to look at the statistics for crime and safety, a majority are going to be property crime. So that's going to be like burglary, theft, or motor vehicle theft. And there aren't, there's not many murders. I mean, take that with a grain of salt. Any murder is too many, right? But there's 2.8 per every 100,000 residents. So there's 16.8 rape cases, 11.2 robbery, and 36.4 assaults. So you know, the crime could be better. That being said, you know, it's very unlikely that you're going to be a victim of one of these crimes, and it's not to say you won't. obviously anywhere that you go, there's going to be crime. So you can't, while that factor alone is important, you got to take it with a grain of salt. I mean, you're closer to the city. There's just a lot more people. You're bound to get a bad apple here and there. But overall, I mean, niche.com is giving it an A+, and that's not for nothing, right? So A- in diversity. And Brighton is a town, a suburb where most of the residents own their home rather than renting. But that being said, the average rent in Brighton is the median rent is $11.33, so very cheap for rentals there. The median home value is $206,000, and so the real estate market, what I would say in Brighton, just from my sales experience here, is that Brighton is very competitive. Many people want to move to Brighton, just proximity to basically everything. And then the public school system, it's just amazing. It has great sports, great extracurriculars, great student to teacher ratios. So everything is good about Brighton, and that is precisely why people are trying to move in huge masses. Moving right along, just going a little bit, east of Rochester and a little bit east of Brighton, with an overall niche grade of an A. We're talking about Fairport. If you go back a few videos, we did a video on Fairport, and Fairport is a very nice area. Very nice. It's wide, sparse, suburban area. Population of just about 5,500 people, and median home value of $220,000. So there's a little bit more money in Fairport, but the median rent, get this, is under $1,000. Median rent is $978. So very, very cheap to rent in Fairport. And again, sparse suburban, where 70% of the residents own a house versus 30% who rent. And so Fairport is number 21 on best suburbs to buy a house in New York. And I can attest to that. A lot of our clients want to move to Fairport because you feel like you're pretty out there as far as like being in the country or being in the suburbs go, right? But you're still so close to Rochester and the city and everything the city has to offer. And it's just such a great place to buy a home, and it's still affordable. Your taxes are good. You do get Fairport Electric, which makes electric a lot cheaper in many of the homes around there. And, crime and safety is very good in Fairport. You're talking about a niche rating of a B. So versus Brighton, that was a C- or C+, whatever I said it was in the Brighton one. This is a B. So there's virtually no assaults, murders, or robberies, and burglaries, thefts, and motor vehicle thefts are, fairly low. Not nothing, but they're fairly low. Your diversity is a B-, so you're going to be a little bit less diverse than Brighton, but you're still very good on the diversity side. And a majority of residents in Fairport actually hold a master's degree, so very well educated. The median household income is just under $80,000, so $79,637. So your public schools are going to be Fairport Senior High. You're going to have Martha Brown Middle School, Brooks Hill School, and then a couple others, and they're all ranked an A on niche.com. So Fairport is just outstanding. It's a great area. Like I said, it's sparse suburban, just less than 6,000 people. People just love feeling like they're out in the country, but they're so close in proximity to the city of Rochester and all the amenities that has to offer. So you definitely can't go wrong with bringing your family to Fairport. Moving right along to number 3, we're talking about Honeoye Falls. Honeoye Falls is, according to niche.com, they consider it a dense suburban area. I think it feels more like a very sparse suburban area. Honeoye Falls it's kind of out in the country, but it is just like Fairport. It is still very close in proximity to Rochester. You got like a 15-minute drive into Rochester from Honeoye Falls, depending on where you are. But very, very nice area. Population of just less than 3,000 people with 779 people. And your median rent is less than $1,000, so very affordable here. It's $943 is your median rent price, whereas the median home price is $193, so or $193,000 rather. 53% of residents own versus 47% who rent. 47%, that is. And Honeoye Falls is number 34 on best places in New York to buy a house, number 20 on best suburbs to buy a house, and number 62 with the lowest cost of living in New York. And that's out of 388 places surveyed on that one. So very cheap to live there. And their academic program, their school, is becoming one of the best in the area. You got an overall niche grade of an A for Honeoye Falls. The you got an A in public schools, A- in housing, A+ for good for families, B+ for jobs. So in jobs, if you're going to work or live in Honeoye Falls and you're going to work, you're going to have to go to some of the surrounding towns. There's just not a ton in Honeoye Falls itself. It's a small yet spread out kind of area, so it's very kind of like country feel, but there's not like huge industry going on in Honeoye Falls. So you might get some small consulting agencies or something like that, but otherwise you'll probably have to go in toward Henrietta or toward Rochester in order to get into some of the larger professional, I guess, jobs or facilities, if you will. So the other thing that's great about Honeoye Falls is all the outdoor activities that you have in the area. Like I said, it's so spread out and so suburban feel that there is a lot of green space. There's a lot to do outdoors, a lot of kind of rolling hills. There are cornfields and stuff, but there are a lot of trails and natural pathways that kind of go along waterways or around the falls. Like it's just a great area there. And you know, I know plenty of kids that I grew up with, ended up working with, that grew up in Honeoye Falls, and they loved it. They loved the area, and you know, they really had no complaints about it. In fact, if they did have a complaint, it was that there wasn't enough people. You know, small class sizes in school, but otherwise it's an amazing area, amazing schools. Diversity isn't the best there, but your crime and safety, your crime is virtually zero in Honeoye Falls. There's really no statistics that show that it happens. So very safe. You got a B- in diversity, so not terrible, but could be better. Again, Brighton is going to be a lot better than Honeoye Falls, and but you know, it's still existent. You still do have diversity out there. It's just not as abundant. All right, and last but not least, this is an area that many of our clients coming from YouTube who are relocating to the area are looking at, is Irondequoit. Irondequoit is an amazing area, has a grade on niche.com of an A, and A- for the public schools, C+ for crime and safety. Being that it's just barely outside of the city of Rochester and that it has a population of 51,000 people, it is very densely populated. So of course you're going to get one or two bad apples who are going to be, doing all the crime and whatnot. But Irondequoit is just an amazing area. There's beautiful architecture. It's, you have a mix of some new homes and then some very old historic homes as well. And like I said, with proximity to the city of Rochester, you just really can't beat the location, as well as, for the family, because since we're talking about family here, you have the Irondequoit, the Seneca Park Zoo, and you have Seabreeze. Seabreeze is an amusement park, and with the water park and roller coasters and the whole nine, it's just an amazing time. A lot of kids go there for the school field trips, and I actually don't know if they do that anymore, but we did that when we were growing up. We went to Seabreeze for field trips, and we loved it. It was just an amazing time. But Irondequoit is just outstanding. Median home value of $135,000, median rent of $982. So it's very affordable to live in Irondequoit. Cost of living is very cheap. And that being said, though, 79% of the population in Irondequoit are homeowners, leaving only 21% as renters. But that's still a lot of people with considering 51,000 residents. Irondequoit is just, it's amazing. It's grown, for a long time. I didn't really love Irondequoit, but as I worked more in and around Irondequoit and got up to the area more, I've started loving it more and more. It's, it's up by the water. It lines the Irondequoit Bay, so the views are just amazing. You have the water right there. You have the zoo. You have the Seabreeze amusement park. There's just a lot going on, and public schools are just amazing. Diversity is amazing. The only thing that's not amazing is your crime and safety. Like I said, being that it's such a high population, there's going to be more of that. But you have a B+ for diversity, and your school system is just outstanding. So, a lot of people are moving to the Irondequoit area, and that goes to explain why Irondequoit is the #1 hottest market in the country. Not just in New York or not just in the Rochester area. It's #1 and #2 in the country. So there is a lot of competition here. I'm not saying that being that it's good or bad. I'm indifferent about it being a hot real estate market here, right? Because really it goes based off, if you're qualified to buy a home and you present a competitive offer, then you'll get the home. If you can't do that, then unfortunately you won't get a home. Maybe we have to look somewhere else or at a different price point. But just Irondequoit has been one of those areas. We actually, the first client that we got from YouTube relocating here from Colorado, bought in Irondequoit, and they couldn't be happier with it. So it's a growing in popularity kind of area, and a lot of people love it, and it's just amazing on all these rankings here. So moving on, one thing that I wanted to make an honorable mention of, it's not in here. It's not even in the top. Let's see. I don't even know where it is. It's number 13 on best places to raise a family in Rochester. But my hometown of Canandaigua, New York. And the reason I say Canandaigua, I honestly would put it in #1. If I were making the rankings, I would put Canandaigua at #1. And reason being is the lake life and all the opportunities here that come with being on the lake. We have Roseland Water Park here. There's just a lot to do. Great school systems, great athletics, and you just really can't go wrong with Canandaigua. And the location of it is just amazing because you have the thruway that runs right into Farmington, which is a straight shot on Route 332 all the way up to Canandaigua. And so, and then, you know, it's one of the middle lakes, so proximity to all the other lakes is just great. And so growing up, we spent a lot of time on the lake, and I couldn't imagine a childhood without it. And you know, so that's why I think Canandaigua would be number one. But of course, I'm biased. I didn't make these rankings, niche.com did, so take it with a grain of salt. It is what it is. You know, like I said, of course I've got a bias because I was born and raised here, but you know, whatever. But that being said, I hope you guys got some from this video. If you want more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and, you know, leave a comment in the comment section on what kind of videos you would like to see from me. But with that being said, as much as I love making these videos for you on all things Rochester and Finger Lakes living, I would love even more to help you with those real estate needs. So information that's popping up on the bottom of your screen right there, I am the guy that answers those texts and emails and phone calls. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, feel free to reach out. It's never too soon to get the process started. This is a journey, especially if you're relocating from across the country. It's a journey that we need to go on together. You need to get the information straight before making the decision to come here, or as soon in the process as you possibly can, because there's a lot of different things that go into it, and we are the #1 relocation team in the area. So definitely don't hesitate to reach out. We love taking inquiries from you guys. So until the next video, we'll catch you soon. Bye.